Hey, good day. Tim Phillips speaking, Sunlit Motivational, and I'm glad to see you. Now, I'm standing here in Illinois, and yesterday was primary day, so good job for all those who worked hard and got their bid with their respective party. And gosh darn it, I've actually seen in both parties, people really went out and worked at it, and it impresses me when someone has a vision, has a goal. I'm going to get that office. I'm going to impress these people. And then they got to shape their character to make that happen. And for some of those who shape their voices and their attitudes, they may not be as successful as well as us shaping your character. But I'll come to you because I want to be shaped. And I want God active in my life. And how do you get God active in your life? Well, I found an easy way. Sometimes it's hard, but this time it was easy. I simply did nothing. Well, almost nothing. See, I did something, which I guess is not nothing. I had to ignore that still small voice of encouragement, of gentle nudging, or sometimes of self-reflection. Jesus calls him the helper, and Christians know him as the Holy Spirit. So, well, let me get some perspective on the situation. There's this person I befriended when I was most vulnerable. Have you ever found like a friend or someone comes out of the woodwork and it kind of picks you up when you just need to be picked up? I had a 21-year relationship and it ended and my finances dwindled to poverty. I had the kids and I needed to find food and shelter, and well, this person came into my life and was just a total angel. They didn't have much resources, but just having that encouraging person in the background, that really makes a difference for go-getters, if you will. But in 8 months, my company turned around. Her family and my family found a large place big enough to live. Meals were cooked every day. Do you know what 21 years was in a relationship? I don't remember, maybe on one hand, how many times I came home to a cooked meal. That was complete awesomeness coming home. Food, I didn't know the stove worked. Then, from 9 months to 18 months, totally opposite. It was like night and day. It was terrible. The rest of my money disappeared. The peace I once woke up to was now filled with accusations. This person finally was frustrated with whatever she was frustrated with and broke the lease, and for a final cherry on the Sunday, filed a civil restraining order against me so I don't pursue any of these resources that, well, I guess old me had to take care of. But, well, great news. After she was gone, my finances started to grow. In fact, I'm a very heavy praying person. Not only did resources grow, the pandemic hit, and my income grew even more. This is cool. I still missed and often reflected about that 8 months. That was total heaven. I mean, romanticize it. And I think about it and says, Lord, is there someone like that? I thought about that constantly. Then one evening, that person called me back. Well, the pandemic was not as good to her. She needed money. I gave it. I did feel warm when she called me, but I felt dirty when I gave in. I did that for almost 2 years. Now, that's some background. Let's flash forward to today. See, my finances now are stronger and stronger. One part of my responsibility, important to me, is my giving. My giving, not just to people, that was easy, but giving to God. Not that I didn't want to give. Sometimes I just kind of forget or be confused on where to apply my resources. See, the power of ignoring in this person is strong. My next superpower is I can distract myself from anything I don't want to do. And if that's not enough, I will justify my decisions, or actually indecisions. But I knew that I had to address it because it kept bothering me more and more. Hey, Tim, you know, you've got these resources. And for my faith, just to reflect upon you, I don't believe I really own anything. I'm a steward of what's given to me. of what I'm allowed to work with. Do I have a big house, a small house? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I'm the steward. And my colleague in Florida, just kind of seeing my position, told me, when the money comes in, just write a check. Don't even think about it. Well, don't think about it. I'm trying to distract myself and justify. And in fact, I went into high gear in my distractedness. You see, if you're going to be distracted, it doesn't matter what you are justifying or being distracted with. Like, for example, who do I write the check to? You see, I work with many churches. I could split it, but I got to split it fairly. I'm making a lot of noise. Another one that's really easy is I'm self-employed. Now, how do I calculate 10%? Do I go by the gross, by the net? Is there any other type of variable I must be mindful of? If I get a refund, is that counted? I'm making a lot of noise here, but I'm giving an example of what can go on. Another 100 items can go through, my daughter's schooling, et cetera, et cetera. But my point is, I had a complete system of distractions which I can twist into ignoring on the specific item of giving to the church, which is important to me. So just think, anyway, what was I ignoring? Through a little bit of stillness and a little bit of prayer, obedience. You see, everyone who struggles with giving with a thin, small voice that nudges them, they're trying to be shaped. God is trying to shape you into something bigger, better, stronger, faster than who you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel a little awkward when you don't participate. We don't, take the trash out that instant and show respect to your wife, or stay the extra half hour at work to make something happen. Or maybe just stop the car and give a stranger $5. You feel that, and it's like, it's a little bit of too much effort, and then you don't feel right. That's an example of being shaped. And everyone who struggles with giving in my situation are going to be shaped differently, but in His image. The path God shapes us will be different for everyone. Someone in my situation, they might have all the money in the world, and humility will be the lesson presented. Now, and there's also those with very little money. Faith might be where they're being schooled. Me? Obedience. That was the whisper. See, intellectually, I know that God owns everything. I just confessed that. Yet, my heart feels like I'm missing out. God owns everything, but, what's my part of it? I have plenty of resources. I have plenty of humility. Yet, when it comes to finances, I was still kind of selfish. Well, let's take a step. Let's kind of wrap this up here. The Holy Spirit had all the bullet points to present to me, and I was getting more convinced of my disobedience. I was being moved to action. See, I realized, gosh, this is big. I realized I was eager to give money to a person who we can argue hates me. Then release it to God's house, to God. Now, this is God the Father. He's promised me a life of paradise in His presence. A God who promised to be the great healer, the great comforter when I'm sad, the Abba Father. I mean, there's 1,000 other blessings as you study them. When the evidence was presented to me, and I was still enough, I was listening enough, my breakthrough came. And as I learned to use my finances, peace filled me up. Okay, so a little bit later, okay, God, I beg you for forgiveness on this matter. I still got a problem. Who should I write the check out to? Now, if God could hit me in the back of the head with a wiffle bat, but don't, He sure would have, because here's the message that came back to me. Tim, give it to a street preacher for all I care. I want your obedience. You see, I'm teaching you how to love me. For those of you with children, or those of you with parents, I guess it works both ways, the best way you could show your father, your mother, that you love them is through respect and through obedience. Mom, Dad, how can I serve you? and then just do it. We'll be listening, talking, cleaning your bedroom, making some money. But the simple act of that is an act of love. And that's what God says. This is how you can show you love me. And for someone else, your faith would be how you would show me. Your humility is how you show that you love me. And more importantly, or in addition, you telling someone how you love me is loving me. Be a blessing, everyone. Go out there this week and purposely show someone you love them. Thank you.